When discussing the greatest shows of all time, Star Wars undoubtedly stands out as one of the most legendary and epic franchises ever created. From top-notch heroes to elite villains, it is a giant sandbox of a universe that has so many different characters and groups that almost anyone can relate to it. Today, we explore Star Wars: The Clone Wars, an animated TV series set amidst the events of Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones and Star Wars Episode III: Revenge of the Sith. Premiering on Cartoon Network, the show ran for 5 seasons from 2008 to 2013. Later, a condensed 6th season debuted on Netflix in 2014. Finally, the saga concluded with its 7th and final season, exclusively released on Disney Plus in 2020. Before we start, let's set some context for better understanding of the series. The Clone Wars explores different parts of the war between the Galactic Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. It covers 3 years and tells stories about Force users, soldiers, politicians, and bounty hunters across the Star Wars galaxy. The show focuses on various characters, sometimes switching who the story follows, but there are 4 main characters who work for Supreme Chancellor Palpatine in the Republic. Anakin Skywalker, also known as the Chosen One, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the infamous master of the Jedi Order from the movies. Furthermore, the series also introduces Ahsoka Tano, a Togruta female and Padawan of Skywalker, and Rex, the human male clone of Jango Fett. Other antagonists in the series include Asajj Ventress, the apprentice and assassin of Count Dooku, the famous bounty hunter Cad Bane, and the renegade Sith Lord Darth Maul. With that, let's get right into it. Senator Bail Organa, facing a dire situation on Christophsis, communicates with Anakin Skywalker and Admiral Yularen. Separatist Admiral Trench threatens their position, and Skywalker and Yularen struggle against the Separatist blockade until Obi-Wan arrives, urging a retreat. On his cruiser, Skywalker discovers a stealth ship for a covert mission to deliver supplies. Yularen joins them, recognizing Trench's involvement, but Trench intensifies pressure by sending bombers to attack Organa. Just then, Skywalker attempts to distract Trench, but his direct attack fails due to thermal shields. Trench, aware of his Jedi identity, warns him about past victories against cloaked ships. However, Skywalker realizes Trench's tactic of tracking torpedoes and lures him into targeting the stealth ship, forcing him to lower his shields. He finally maneuvers the ship to collide with Trench's flagship, destroying it. With Trench defeated, Kenobi attacks the Separatist fleet while Skywalker and Yularen deliver supplies to Organa. Organa thanks Skywalker, and Yularen admires his bold tactics. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and their clone troopers set up an ambush for advancing droid forces, but are caught off guard when droids infiltrate Obi-Wan's position. They barely escape, taking the droid's head for analysis. Back at base, Rex and Cody discover a possible spy among them. They trace unauthorized transmissions to Slick's barracks. Upon investigation, they find evidence pointing to Slick as the traitor. Meanwhile, Anakin and Obi-Wan proceed with their mission despite knowing it's compromised. They encounter Asajj Ventress, engaging her in a duel. Ventress escapes, revealing plans for a large invasion. Rex and Cody apprehend Slick, who confesses to aiding Ventress for freedom and money. Despite his claims of fighting for his brothers, Rex and Cody realize the danger his betrayal poses. As they prepare for the impending battle, Rex reports salvaging heavy cannons. Though their trust is shaken, the clone troopers remain determined to defend against the looming threat. During the Clone Wars, the Separatists control hyperlanes and Republic forces are scattered. A Separatist craft heads to Tatooine to capture Jabba the Hutt's son, Rada, aiming to coerce the Hutts into joining the conflict. Meanwhile, a battle rages on Christophsis between Republic clones and Separatist forces. Assisted by Obi-Wan, Anakin Skywalker, Rex, and Cody, the clones gain an early victory. However, the droid army led by General Loathsome returns. With no reinforcements, Anakin and Obi-Wan must lead the defense. Amid the chaos, Ahsoka Tano arrives, claiming to be Anakin's new Padawan. As the battle intensifies, Anakin and Ahsoka penetrate enemy lines to disable a deflector shield, while Obi-Wan negotiates with Loathsome. After the Republic's victory, Master Yoda informs them of Rada's kidnapping. Anakin, Ahsoka, and Rex embark on a rescue mission, facing Count Dooku's elaborate trap. Meanwhile, Senator Amidala discovers Zero the Hutt's betrayal and is detained. With C-3PO's help, she alerts authorities, leading to Zero's arrest. Anakin and Ahsoka, with Rada, journey to Tatooine, facing numerous obstacles. In the palace, they confront threats, but Padme's intervention exposes Zero's treachery, securing their safety. With Rada returned and Zero defeated, Anakin and Ahsoka are rescued by their allies, concluding the mission successfully. Domino Squad, a group of clone cadets, struggles with teamwork during a crucial training exercise on Kamino. Bounty Hunter Brick, along with Jedi Master Shakti, and fellow hunter Ella observes their failures. Brick suggests they be reassigned to maintenance duty, considering them unfit for battle. Despite their initial setbacks, the squad resolves to improve. With encouragement from Clone 99, they decide to retake the test. However, Brick sabotages their equipment, hoping to see them fail. Undeterred, Domino Squad improvises and successfully completes the exercise. Impressed by their resilience, Shock Tai acknowledges their potential and Brick begrudgingly admits his misjudgment. The squad graduates and prepares to join the front lines, with Heavy giving his medal to 99 as a token of appreciation for his guidance. Domino Squad then joins the rest of its brothers in shipping out to the front lines. Rillath faces dire circumstances under Separatist blockade, with Jedi Master Imagun D and Twi'lek leader Cham Syndulla struggling to maintain resistance. Admiral Dao, unable to send supplies, seeks Jedi reinforcements before his ship is attacked. The Jedi Council assigns Senator Organa and Jar Jar Binks to negotiate supplies from Toydaria. Negotiations become complicated with the arrival of Lot Dodd, representing the Trade Federation. Organa emphasizes humanitarian aid, but Dodd argues against Toydaria's neutrality. Despite official denial, King Katunko secretly agrees to supply Organa if kept secret. Organa orchestrates distraction while supplies are loaded. Meanwhile, on Ryloth, Syndulla despairs, but Master Dai sacrifices himself to delay droids, allowing escape. The arrival of supplies brings hope to the Twi'leks. As Organa and Binks depart, Dodd accuses them of breaking the agreement, but without proof. Katunko hints at reconsidering neutrality, bringing joy to Organa and Binks. Season 1. Jedi Master Yoda is sent to Rugosa to persuade King Katunko to ally with the Republic. However, Asajj Ventress, representing the Separatists, challenges Yoda to a trial. If Yoda can defeat her troops, Toydaria will join the Republic. Otherwise, it will side with the Separatists. Yoda, accompanied by clones Thyr, Jek, and Riz, faces Ventress' droid army in the dense coral forest. Despite being outnumbered, Yoda's leadership and combat prowess lead to successful ambushes against the droids. When the clones are cornered, Yoda boosts their morale by emphasizing their individuality. As Yoda confronts the droids alone, Thyr intervenes with an RPG, triggering a landslide that crushes the reinforcements. Impressed by Yoda's and the clones' valor, Katunko aligns with the Republic. However, Ventress attempts to assassinate him, only to be countered by Yoda. Despite Ventress' escape, Toydaria pledges its allegiance to the Republic, symbolized by Katunko offering his sword to Yoda. Republic gunships then arrive to retrieve both parties. Jedi Master Plo Koon and Clone Commander Wolf find the Separatists' new weapon, the powerful starship Malevolence, but their fleet is disabled by its ion cannon. They escape in an escape pod just before their cruiser is destroyed. Separatists hunt them and they're soon adrift in space. Meanwhile, Anakin and Ahsoka are unable to mount a rescue mission due to orders to defend supply convoys. Disobeying, they search for survivors. Aboard the escape pod, Koon and the clones repair comms and witness another pod's destruction. Anakin and Ahsoka join the search, leading to Koon's rescue. As they flee the Malevolence, Ahsoka explains Koon's importance to her. They narrowly evade Malevolence's attack, but the Separatists know their secret weapon is exposed. Safe aboard Anakin's fleet, they report the Malevolence's ion cannon to the Jedi Council. Anakin leads Shadow Squadron in a daring attack on the Malevolence, aiming to take out its bridge and cripple the Separatist flagship. As they depart, his plan risks the lives of the squadron members, prompting concerns from Plo Koon and Ahsoka. Meanwhile, Count Dooku orders Grievous to target the Republic's medical facility, the Khalida Shul's medical center, with the Malevolence's ion cannon. Anakin and Shadow Squadron navigate through the dangerous Balmorra run to catch up with the Malevolence. Despite setbacks, they arrive in time to thwart the Separatist attack on the medical station. Anakin devises a plan to overload the ion cannon, successfully disabling the Malevolence and preventing its escape. Grievous retreats as Republic reinforcements arrive. Although victorious, Anakin mourns the loss of Shadow Squadron members and acknowledges the importance of saving lives. He and Ahsoka prepare to continue their pursuit of Grievous, determined to protect the Republic. The Republic pursues the damaged Malevolence, seeking to capitalize on its vulnerability. General Kenobi orders an attack on the battleship's bridge, but Count Dooku intervenes, orchestrating a trap involving Senator Amidala, who is unknowingly on a collision course with the Malevolence. Captured by the battleship's tractor beam, Senator Amidala contacts Anakin and the Jedi for assistance. She sacrifices her ship to escape, and Grievous survives the explosion, determined to capture her. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and R2-D2 embark on a daring rescue mission. Amidala and Anakin reunite amidst the chaos, but their moment is cut short at Grievous' pursuit. Obi-Wan engages Grievous in a fierce duel, while Anakin and Padme work to sabotage Malevolence's hyperdrive. Despite Grievous' interference, Anakin and Padme succeed in crippling Malevolence's hyperdrive, causing it to crash into a moon. Grievous narrowly escapes, but the destruction of his flagship deals a significant blow to the Separatist cause. The Republic emerges victorious, Senator Amidala is rescued, and Grievous' credibility suffers a blow. Anakin's plan to defeat General Grievous involves a frontal assault by Gold Squadron, while Rex and his brigade of AT-Ts ambush the Separatist frigates from behind in the Bothawui system. Grievous, realizing he's outmatched, flees in his personal starfighter, pursued by Anakin and R2-D2. However, Grievous' fighter crashes due to shrapnel, leaving Anakin unconscious. Upon waking up aboard the Resolute, Anakin learns that R2-D2 was not salvaged from the wreckage. Anakin decides against erasing R2's memory, despite the risk of the astromech falling into Separatist hands. He leads a salvage operation to recover R2 but encounters a new astromech, R3-S6, nicknamed Goldie. Anakin insists R2 is irreplaceable. During a search, they encounter a freighter captain by a Trandoshan named Jun Nakht, who claims there's no R2 unit on board. Anakin hears R2's beep, but Goldie accidentally activates two IG-86 units. Anakin and Ahsoka destroy the droids but find no sign of R2. Unbeknownst to them, Ja contacts Grievous, revealing R2's value. Later, R2 escapes from Go's custody but is discovered. Anakin decides to scout for Grievous' listening posts, accompanied by R3. However, R3 activates a tracking device alerting Grievous. R3's errors nearly lead to disaster, but Anakin is saved by Ahsoka and Rex. Grievous, frustrated by Anakin's escape, vents his anger on a battle droid. Anakin hopes R2 is still out there despite R3's incompetence. R2-D2 successfully transmits the location of Grievous' listening post on a Ruusan moon, prompting Anakin to lead a rescue mission against Obi-Wan Kenobi's advice to wait for reinforcements. Anakin heads out alone to find R2, while Ahsoka and the clones infiltrate the reactor control room. Unbeknownst to them, R3-S6 is a spy for the Separatists and alerts Grievous to their presence. Anakin finds R2-D2 and duels Grievous Magna Guards while Ahsoka and the clones confront the security battle droids. Grievous kills all the clones except Rex and Dino, engaging Ahsoka in combat. She hides from Grievous, but is betrayed by R3, who reveals her location. He traps Ahsoka and disarms her, but she manages to sever his hand with her lightsaber and escape into an air vent and rejoins the team as Anakin and the clones plant bombs, defeating the Vulture droids and escaping in the twilight as the bombs detonate. Grievous escapes in his ship, Soulless One. Meanwhile, R2 and R3 face off in combat, with R2 ultimately defeating R3 and opening the hangar doors. Anakin rescues R2 and they leave the system. Despite their success, Obi-Wan disapproves of Anakin's decision to risk the mission for a droid, but Anakin insists that R2 is more than a droid. He is a friend. Padme Amidala travels to Rhodia to persuade Senator Onaconda Farr, whom she affectionately calls Uncle Ono, to maintain his allegiance to the Galactic Republic. Accompanied by C-3PO and Jar Jar Binks, she arrives to find that Onaconda has already pledged allegiance to the Separatists, with battle droids patrolling the city. As Gunray orders Padme's arrest, Jar Jar and 3PO find themselves in trouble when droids attempt to apprehend them. Jar Jar's clumsiness inadvertently helps them escape, but they lose their ship in the process, leaving them stranded without a means to call for help. Jar Jar dons a Jedi robe found on Padme's ship, leading the droids to mistake him for a Jedi. Meanwhile, Padme manages to free herself and rescues 3PO, but they are dismayed to discover Jar Jar's predicament. As Gunray arrives to execute Padme, Onaconda realizes his mistake in siding with the Separatists. Jar Jar, attempting to rescue Padme, is pursued by droids and finds himself facing imminent danger. However, he encounters the booby monster from earlier, which saves him from the droids' attacks. In the chaos that ensues, Gunray's plans are foiled and Padme persuades Onaconda to turn against the Separatists. With Gunray arrested, Padme forgives Onaconda and emphasizes the importance of their allies in the Republic's cause. Anakin and Obi-Wan stage a daring plan to infiltrate a Munificent-class star frigate commanded by Count Dooku near Vancor. Anakin allows himself to be captured while Obi-Wan sneaks aboard to rescue him and apprehend Dooku. After a skirmish, Dooku escapes in his solar sailor with the Jedi in pursuit. During the chase, both parties suffer damage, leading to a crash landing on a nearby planet. As they search for each other, Dooku ambushes the Jedi in a cave, causing a collapse and seizing Anakin's lightsaber. He then seals the cave entrance, leaving them trapped inside. Meanwhile, Dooku encounters Hondo Onaka's pirate gang, who salvage his ship. Outnumbered and stranded, Dooku opts to join the pirates as they depart the planet. However, upon arrival at the pirate base, Dooku realizes he's been stripped of his lightsabers and is taken prisoner by the pirates. Back in the cave, Anakin and Obi-Wan encounter a large Gundark, which they subdue before almost succumbing to poison gas. They are eventually rescued by Ahsoka and clone troopers. After receiving a message from Hondo regarding Dooku's capture, Anakin and Obi-Wan meet with the pirates to verify. They attend a banquet where drugged drinks are served, but they switch them with the pirates' drinks. As the pirates pass out, the Jedi reflect on their unexpected fortune and toast to unexpected gifts. Anakin and Obi-Wan find themselves chained to Count Dooku in the pirates' prison cell after being drugged and captured. Despite their mutual dislike, they must work together to escape. Meanwhile, Jar Jar Binks and Senator Karras, along with Commander Stone and clone troopers, arrive with a spice ransom for Dooku. However, Turk Falso, a pirate under Hondo's command, decides to betray Hondo and shoot down the shuttle to claim the ransom for himself. This leads to the deaths of the pilots and Karras, leaving Jar Jar unintentionally in charge of the surviving clones. The Jedi and Dooku attempt multiple escapes but are repeatedly recaptured by Hondo's pirates. Jar Jar leads the clones in a successful escape from a skirmish near acid geysers, ultimately regaining control of the spice ransom. They then track the pirates back to their base. Meanwhile, Turk lies to Hondo about the Republic sending an army, prompting Hondo to prepare for a counterattack. Jar Jar, posing as a negotiator, inadvertently causes a power outage that allows the Jedi and Dooku to escape. As chaos ensues, Dooku kills Turk and flees in his ship, while Anakin and Obi-Wan take Hondo hostage. They decide to let Hondo go, as they have no quarrel with him, and depart on the Twi'lek, leaving Hondo to face the consequences of Dooku's wrath. Anakin and Ahsoka rush to assist Jedi Knight Aayla Secura's fleet, which is under heavy attack by Separatist forces. Amidst the chaos, Anakin's ship launches gunships to counter the threat of rocket droids targeting Secura's destroyer, the Liberty. Anakin boards the damaged ship to aid Aayla and her troops. However, the Separatist tactical droid orders the destruction of Aayla's fleet, leading to a massive explosion. Anakin uses the Force to shield his comrades from the blast, but is severely injured in the process. Ahsoka manages to rescue him, but their cruiser is knocked into hyperspace, heading towards a star. To avert disaster, Aayla orders a shutdown of all power systems to reset the navigation computer. They emerge from hyperspace near the planet Meriden, but crash land due to the damaged cruiser. With Anakin's condition worsening, they set up camp and search for help. Despite Ahsoka's initial reluctance to leave Anakin, Aayla insists they work together. They encounter a Lurman village and, with the help of T-Wat Ka's son, bring Anakin back for medical aid. Meanwhile, Anakin and Rex fend off attacks from native creatures. As Anakin receives treatment, Aayla and T-Wat Ka discuss the futility of war and the importance of peace. Ahsoka realizes the necessity of their journey to find help, and they hope for rescue from Yularen. Anakin's group, including the Jedi and clones, acts quickly to thwart Separatist plans to harm the Lurman village. Despite T-Wat Ka's initial reluctance to accept their help, they rally to defend the village against Separatist aggression. With Lok Durd's defoliator weapon threatening the village, Anakin devises a plan to disable the Separatist communications station and steal a shuttle to return and aid the Lurman. Despite T-Wat Ka's adherence to pacifist beliefs, Anakin, Ahsoka, and the clones take action to protect the villagers. After infiltrating the Separatist base and securing the shuttle and shield generators, they return to the village and prepare for the impending attack. Despite initial resistance from T-Wat Ka, the shield generators prove crucial in protecting the village from the defoliator weapon and subsequent droid assault. In the face of overwhelming odds, Wag-2 and his friends defy T-Wat Ka's orders and engage the droids, demonstrating their resolve to defend their home. Anakin manages to capture Lok Durd, disrupting the Separatist operation and securing the safety of the village. As the Republic cruisers arrive to provide support, T-Wat Ka reflects on the sacrifices made to protect the village, raising questions about the true cost of their actions in the ongoing war. Despite the challenges and moral dilemmas, Anakin and his companions leave knowing they have made a difference in saving lives. The situation on Ordo Plutonia escalates as the Republic and Panteran forces clash with the native Tals, driven by Chairman Chicho's refusal to recognize the Tals as sentient beings. Despite the efforts of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Senator Ryo Chuchi to mediate and negotiate peace, Chicho's stubbornness leads to violence and his eventual demise. As the Tals assert their sovereignty over their land, Senator Chuchi's diplomatic efforts prevail, leading to a ceasefire and the recognition of Tal's autonomy. With Chicho's passing and the Panteran Assembly's decision to prioritize peace, Senator Chuchi takes charge of ensuring the stability of Ordo Plutonia, and honoring the newfound sovereignty of the Tals. Obi-Wan's parting words to Senator Chuchi reflect the importance of maintaining peace and stability on Ordo Plutonia, underscoring the need for ongoing efforts to uphold the delicate balance of diplomacy in the region. With the conflict resolved and a peaceful resolution achieved, Senator Chuchi and the Jedi depart, leaving behind a hopeful future for the Tals and Pantorans alike. Padme, Jar Jar, and their companions find themselves embroiled in a high-stakes mission to stop Dr. Nuvo Vindi from unleashing the deadly blue shadow virus on the galaxy. With the help of Peppy Bao and Ahsoka, they navigate the treacherous swamps of Naboo to locate Vindi's secret lab. Meanwhile, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and their team analyze the data obtained from the captured droid, uncovering Vindi's nefarious plan to deploy virus bombs across key star systems. Determined to stop him, they devise a plan to infiltrate the lab and thwart his scheme. As the two teams converge on Vindi's hideout, they face numerous challenges and dangers. Ahsoka's resourcefulness and bravery aid in distracting the enemy forces, allowing Anakin and his clones to breach the compound. However, they encounter unexpected resistance as Vindi unleashes his deadly virus and engages in a fierce battle with the Jedi and their allies. Despite the odds stacked against them, Padme and Jar Jar play a crucial role in apprehending Vindi and deactivating the virus bombs, ultimately averting a catastrophic disaster. The situation escalates dramatically as the team races against time to prevent the deadly blue shadow virus from spreading further. With Padme and Jar Jar succumbing to the virus effects and the remaining antidote in Vindi's possession, the stakes are higher than ever. Anakin confronts Vindi in a desperate attempt to retrieve the antidote, but the evil doctor remains defiant, refusing to cooperate. Meanwhile, Ahsoka and the clones battle against the virus-infected droids, struggling to contain the threat within the lab. As Padme and Ahsoka join forces to neutralize the remaining droids and prevent the virus from escaping onto Naboo's surface, Anakin and Obi-Wan embark on a difficult mission to obtain the elusive Rexa root, the key ingredient for the antidote. However, their efforts are restrained by the ghostly presence of Droll, the phantom ruler of Ego, who stops any attempts to leave the planet. Despite facing numerous obstacles and dangers, including the haunting energy fields surrounding Ego, Anakin and Obi-Wan persevere in their quest to secure the Rexa root and save their loved ones. With the help of the inhabitants of Ego, they overcome the Separatist security measures and destroy the energy field, allowing them to return to Naboo with the antidote. With the crisis averted and the antidote administered to the afflicted, relief washes over the team as they reflect on their distressing ordeal. As they depart from the lab, the team shares a moment of happiness, acknowledging each other's bravery and determination in the face of adversity. In the battle for Ryloth, Ahsoka leads Republic forces against Separatist ships. Anakin proposes a daring plan. He pilots a damaged ship directly into the enemy flagship. As Ahsoka takes command, Anakin escapes in a pod. Despite doubts, Ahsoka's leadership rallies the Republic fighters. The plan succeeds, weakening the Separatists' hold. With Anakin's sacrifice and Ahsoka's courage, the Republic gains the upper hand. The remaining Separatist ships are overwhelmed by Republic forces. Soon, Obi-Wan and Mace Windu arrive with reinforcements, securing victory. Ryloth is liberated thanks to the bravery and strategy of the Republic's heroes. Mace Windu and Obi-Wan plan to seize Nabat, a key city on Ryloth. Wat Tambor readies defenses with captive Twi'leks shielding proton cannons. Obi-Wan's Ghost Company aims to retake Nabat without harming civilians. As the Republic's assault ships approach, proton cannons attack, breaching shields. Windu tasks Obi-Wan with neutralizing the cannons. Despite heavy resistance, Ghost Company advances. Recon droids are sent to spy on the Jedi. Obi-Wan devises a plan to rescue hostages while dismantling cannons. Meanwhile, clones Waxer and Boyle encounter young Twi'lek Numa and vow to protect her. Tambor deploys starved Gutkers against the Republic. Waxer and Boyle with Numa narrowly evade the beasts. Ghost Company battles Gutkers, while Obi-Wan orchestrates their defeat. With Numa's help, hostages are freed. Yet TX-20 threatens them, leading to a dramatic showdown. In a surprising turn, Numa's people overwhelm TX-20, saving Obi-Wan and the Republic. As they head to Lesu, Waxer and Boyle bid farewell to Numa, now regarded as family. Mace Windu and his forces, including Lightning Squadron, encounter resistance from AAT tanks while en route to Lesu City. Windu leads a daring assault, utilizing AT-RT's and Lightning Squadron's firepower to overcome the enemy. Meanwhile, Tambor, determined to hold the city, prepares his bombers despite Dooku's urging to retreat. Anakin Skywalker secures space around Ryloth, but faces overwhelming enemy bombers. Mace enlists the help of Twi'lek leader Cham Syndulla despite political tensions. They discover Tambur's plan to evacuate with Ryloth's treasures. Anakin and Ahsoka engage enemy bombers to aid the ground forces. Mace and Cham coordinate a plan to breach the city's defenses using stolen transports to cross the plasma bridge. Amidst intense fighting, Mace confronts Tambor and secures his surrender just as enemy bombers target the city. Anakin and Ahsoka destroy the bombers, ensuring Ryloth's liberation. Tambor surrenders and Ryloth celebrates its newfound freedom. Season 2, Jedi Master Plo Koon leads a rescue mission on Felucia, while Ahsoka disobeys orders, facing reprimand from the Council. Meanwhile, Cad Bane, hired by Darth Sidious, plots to steal a holocron from the Jedi Temple. With his partner Kato and droid Toto, Bane infiltrates the temple as Ahsoka confronts Kato in a duel. Despite their efforts, Bane escapes with a holocron, leaving a clue about a missing Jedi, Bala Ropal, and the Kyber crystal. Mace Windu sends Anakin and Ahsoka to find Ropal, while Obi-Wan stays on Coruscant to pursue Bane. Anakin Skywalker's fleet intercepts Cad Bane's ship, where Bane holds Jedi Master Bala Ropal and the Kyber crystal. Despite Bane's efforts to escape, Anakin and Ahsoka lead a team to infiltrate the ship. In a tense confrontation, Bane kills Ropal, leaving the Jedi without a key to the holocron. As they chase Bane through the ship, Ahsoka faces him alone and is subdued. Bane forces Anakin to unlock the holocron, then flees, leaving Ahsoka in peril. Anakin, blaming himself, rescues Ahsoka and vows to capture Bane, but the bounty hunter's fate remains uncertain. Returning from their failed mission to capture Cad Bane, Anakin and Ahsoka land on the Resolute, believing Bane to be dead. However, Bane, disguised as a clone trooper, ambushes them, escaping to hyperspace. The Jedi report the incident to the Council, realizing that Bane has access to the holocron containing sensitive information about Force-sensitive children. Meanwhile, Bane is instructed by Darth Sidious to capture 4 Force-sensitive children. The Jedi, guided by the Force, race to save the children, facing off against Bane and his schemes. Despite their efforts, they fail to uncover the mastermind behind the kidnappings. Bane ultimately leads them to Mustafar, where the children are rescued from Sidious's grasp. But the true orchestrator remains difficult to track down. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka investigate the disappearance of a medical station over Felucia. They crash land and encounter a village seeking protection from pirates, led by Hondo Ohnaka. Obi-Wan proposes paying off the pirates, but Hondo refuses Republic credits. Instead, they prepare the villagers for battle using farming tools as weapons. Ahsoka boosts Serapaz's confidence, revealing his true size, and they train the farmers. When pirates attack, the Jedi and bounty hunters defend the village. Anakin defeats Hondo, who retreats. Grateful, Sui agrees to transport the Jedi back to the Republic. In hopes of securing fuel from Malastare, Mace, Palpatine, and Anakin discuss the Electroproton bomb, a superweapon. Dr. Shanver Bol confirms it targets only droids. The bomb obliterates Separatist forces but damages Anakin's arm and triggers a sinkhole. Troops fall in, prompting a rescue effort. Windu investigates and encounters a colossal reptilian creature, the Zillo Beast. Anakin distracts it, allowing Windu and troopers to escape. Anakin battles the beast, discovering its armor's weakness. Eurus, Malastare's leader, insists on killing it, threatening the treaty. Anakin proposes stunning and relocating the beast for study. Despite objections, Eurus unleashes fuel, enraging the beast. It rampages until subdued by stun tanks. Malastare joins the Republic, but Windu worries about studying the now comatose Zillo Beast on Coruscant. The Zillo Beast, brought to Coruscant for study, is deemed too dangerous by Mace Windu. Despite his concerns, Palpatine insists on its examination. Dr. Shanver Bol protests killing the creature, suggesting it may be sentient. Anakin and Padme confront Palpatine, advocating for the beast's rights. Anakin, torn between perspectives, acknowledges the need to win the war. Despite Bol's caution, Palpatine orders the beast's euthanization, leading to its escape and rampage. Anakin devises a plan to save Palpatine, using a shuttle distraction while Jedi intervene. The Zillo Beast is ultimately killed by poison gas, leaving the Jedi somber. Palpatine orders the creature decloned, promising its sacrifice won't be in vain. Anakin is summoned by the Jedi Council to recruit Padme as a spy on Senator Clovis, suspected of aiding the Separatists. Despite Anakin's reservations, the Council insists due to her trust in him. Padme reluctantly agrees after learning of Clovis's treachery. She meets Clovis and learns of his collaboration with the Trade Federation on Cato Neimoidia. Anakin, piloting their ship, becomes jealous and disrupts their interactions. On Cato Neimoidia, Padme attempts to spy but is poisoned by Dodd and Poggle. Anakin helps her obtain vital information, leading to a confrontation with Clovis and Dodd. Clovis ultimately aids them, but Anakin leaves him behind on the planet. Ahsoka Tano and Barriss Offee are tasked with delivering medical supplies to Mace Windu on Dantooine. Meanwhile, clone troopers rest outside the Progate Temple when one Sith is infected by a brainworm. The troopers board a frigate with the Padawans, but the infected clones turn hostile, attacking the ship's crew. Ahsoka and Barriss, along with a clone named Trap, try to regain control of the ship. They discover that the troopers are infected by brainworms and must fight for their lives. Ahsoka contacts Master Fisto for help while Barriss disables the thrusters to prevent the ship from docking. Anakin learns of the situation and advises Ahsoka to rupture the coolant system, weakening the worms. In a tense confrontation, Ahsoka and Barriss battle the infected clones and the brainworms. Ultimately, they defeat the parasites and save the ship. Later, Ahsoka wrestles with the decision of whether she should have killed Barriss to stop the infection. Anakin consoles her, affirming her choice to spare her friend's life. Grievous launches a daring assault on Master Eth Koth's flagship, overpowering the defenders and capturing Koth. The Jedi receive a distress call from Koth, prompting Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Adi Gallia to set out to rescue him. They confront Grievous in the Saleucami system, engaging in a fierce space battle. Anakin and Adi board Grievous' destroyer to rescue Koth, while Obi-Wan leads a ground assault on the Surrogator. Amidst intense combat, the Jedi confront Grievous, who reveals his ambition to eradicate the Jedi. Despite a valiant effort, Grievous manages to escape, but not before Adi engages him in a duel. Grievous flees to Saleucami, where the Jedi prepare to hunt him down while Anakin deals with the remaining battle in space. Despite the challenges, the Jedi succeed in rescuing Koth and surviving the encounter with Grievous, determined to continue their fight against the Separatists. Obi-Wan Kenobi and his troops pursue General Grievous on Saleucami. Meanwhile, Grievous seeks an escape pod to send a distress call. Rex's patrol encounters droids, resulting in his injury. Kenobi's team finds a pod, indicating Grievous' presence. As they close in, Rex seeks shelter at a farm, meeting deserter Cut Lawquane. Rex learns about individuality and loyalty as they defend against separatist droids together. Grievous escapes again, frustrating Kenobi. Rex bonds with Lawquane over Dejarik, learning about his past. When droids attack, Rex and Lawquane defend the farm, forming a bond. Rex departs, honoring Lawquane's wish for peace, leaving him and his family behind. Anakin and Ahsoka track an arms dealer in Coruscant's slums. Ahsoka loses her lightsaber to a pickpocket, seeking help from Jocasta Nu, who directs her to Master Terra Sinu. With Sinu's guidance, they trace the thief to a dangerous hideout. Learning her lightsaber was sold to an assassin, they pursue him, Sinu advising patience. They find the assassin murder and encounter Ion Marcy, who seems involved. Ahsoka confronts a female attacker, Cassie Cryer, chasing her across rooftops. Sinu suspects Ion's involvement and tracks her. Ahsoka pursues Cassie, who takes hostages on a train. With Sinu's help, they apprehend Cassie, learning the lesson of patience. Yoda invites Ahsoka to share her experience with young Jedi. Obi-Wan and Anakin protect Duchess Satine Kryze aboard the Coronet. When assassin probes attack, Anakin and clones investigate, finding missing cargo and more danger. They fend off assassin droids targeting senators. Obi-Wan exposes traitor Tal Merrick, who takes Satine hostage and sabotages the ship. In the chaos, Satine confesses her love for Obi-Wan. Anakin kills Merrick to save them. Palpatine praises their success upon arrival on Coruscant. Satine playfully flirts with Obi-Wan before departing. A squad of young clones, including Boba Fett, undergoes training and faces a test on the Star Destroyer Endurance. Boba, secretly plotting, plants a bomb in Mace Windu's quarters, inadvertently killing a clone trooper. Ordered to sabotage the reactor, Boba hesitates but ultimately causes a catastrophic explosion, forcing evacuation. Stubbornly remaining on board, Admiral Killian and Pons stay as the ship is abandoned. Boba sabotages their escape pod, drifting away. Aurra Singh's ship, Slave Eye, retrieves Boba, offering him a place among bounty hunters. He accepts, leaving the cadets behind. Anakin and Mace rescue the remaining cadets, while Killian tries to land the damaged Endurance on Vancor. Windu and Anakin search for survivors. They discover executed clones and a Mandalorian helmet rigged with explosives. Aurra Singh and Boba plan to finish off the Jedi, but R2-D2 thwarts their attempts and sends a distress signal. Despite interference from the bounty hunters, R2 manages to escape and summons help from Coruscant. Plo Koon, Ahsoka, and others arrive to rescue the injured Jedi, praising R2's bravery. As Anakin and Windu recover at the Jedi Temple, they receive a distressing transmission from Aurra Singh, who taunts them with the hostages' lives. Plo Koon and Ahsoka Tano navigate the underworld of Coruscant. facing setbacks due to Ahsoka's impatience. Meanwhile, tensions rise among the bounty hunters aboard Slave Eye, leading to discord and distrust. The bounty hunters seek refuge with Hondo Ohnaka on Florum, but he offers no direct assistance. Cass's attempt to betray the group is intercepted by Aura, leading to his execution. On Coruscant, Plo Koon and Ahsoka narrowly escape a confrontation in a cantina, then follow a lead to Florum. On Florum, Aura attempts to negotiate a ransom with Plo Koon, but Ahsoka disrupts the plan. In the ensuing chaos, Boba is captured, but Aura escapes with Ahsoka in pursuit. Boba eventually reveals the hostage's location under Hondo's persuasion. Ahsoka races to rescue the hostages just in time, thwarting Bossk's execution attempt. However, Aura escapes in Slave Eye with Ahsoka clinging on and causing the ship to crash. Boba and Bossk are apprehended upon their return to Coruscant, with Boba expressing his resentment towards Windu for his father's death. Season 3. As Duchess Satine works to navigate Mandalore through an economic crisis worsened by corruption and the war, Padme Amidala arrives to offer Senate aid. However, their efforts are overshadowed by Mugan's smugglers who poison children with tainted tea. Suspicions fall on the Death Watch, but Satine's guards discover the smugglers' true source. Siddiq, a middleman connected to Muga. Staking out the pier, Satine and Padme witness another shipment. Despite initial denial, the police captain is persuaded to act upon witnessing the criminal operation firsthand. A firefight ensues, but Satine's guards manage to apprehend the smugglers. In a decisive move, Satine orders the warehouse burned to eradicate the tainted goods. However, Prime Minister Almec's response is half-hearted, causing Satine to suggest sending a Jedi undercover to the Academy. Padme agrees to bring the proposal to Master Yoda. Anakin accompanies Ahsoka to Mandalore for her undercover mission, where she's tasked with rooting out corruption and imparting ethical values to young cadets. Welcomed by Duchess Satine, Prime Minister Almec, and cadets like Corky, Ahsoka reluctantly surrenders her lightsaber due to a no-weapons order. Teaching the cadets about corruption, Ahsoka inadvertently inspires Corky and his friends to investigate further. They stumble upon a clandestine meeting and manage to record it, but their discovery puts them in danger when they're pursued by Mandalorian officers. Reporting their findings to Satine, the cadets face skepticism, prompting them to seek help from Almec. However, they're accused of treason, and Ahsoka intervenes to protect them. Analyzing the recording, they discover Almec's involvement in the conspiracy. As they attempt to rescue Satine, Ahsoka's plan is foiled, leading to her capture. Almec, reveling in his illicit activities, attempts to force Satine's compliance, but is thwarted when Ahsoka and the cadets stage a daring escape. In a climactic showdown, Ahsoka and the cadets overpower Almec and his guards, bringing an end to the corruption on Mandalore. With the conspirators arrested, Ahsoka bids farewell to her new allies, returning to her duties as a Jedi with newfound respect. Ahsoka's break from active duty takes a harrowing turn when she begins experiencing vivid nightmares about Aurra Sing targeting someone close to her. These premonitions intensify, eventually revealing Padme Amidala as the intended victim. Accompanying Padme to a conference on Alderaan, Ahsoka grapples with her growing anxiety as she struggles to protect the senator. Despite her fears, Ahsoka's vigilance allows her to thwart Sing's assassination attempt, though not without sustaining a wound herself. In a bid to outmaneuver Sing, Ahsoka devises a clever ruse involving a droid decoy, but Sing sees through the deception. Just as Sing is about to strike, Ahsoka intervenes, preventing disaster and capturing the bounty hunter with Padme's quick thinking. Returning to Coruscant, Ahsoka and Padme relay their ordeal to Master Yoda and Anakin. With Ahsoka's help, they deduce that Zero the Hutt orchestrated the attack in retaliation for his imprisonment. Confronting Zero in prison, Ahsoka and Anakin extract a confession, ensuring that Hutt faces further consequences for his actions. Despite Zero's threats of retribution, Ahsoka remains undeterred, resolved to protect those she cares about from any threat. Amidst the Trade Federation's blockade of Pantora, Senator Rio Chuchi and Chairman Papanoida seek Senate assistance to resist Count Dooku's efforts to coerce their plan into joining the Separatists. However, their troubles escalate when Papanoida's daughters, Chi Ikwe and Shia Manly, are abducted. Ahsoka, having developed a close bond with Chuchi, brings the matter to Anakin and Padme. Though officially unable to intervene, Anakin subtly permits Ahsoka to investigate due to personal concerns. As Ahsoka and Chuchi head to the blockade fleet, Papanoida and his son Ion trace the kidnapping to Greedo, leading them to Tatooine's underworld. At Jabba the Hutt's palace, Papanoida orchestrates Greedo's capture, prompting the criminal to reveal Chi's location on Tatooine. In a showdown in a sea bar, Papanoida rescues Chi but fails to apprehend Greedo, who escapes. Meanwhile, aboard the Trade Federation ship, Ahsoka and Chuchi uncover Chi's imprisonment. Utilizing Ahsoka's Jedi skills and Chuchi's diplomacy, they thwart the Trade Federation envoy's plans, leading to the release of Chi and the dissolution of the blockade. Despite facing perilous challenges, Papanoida's family and Pantora emerge victorious. As Padme stresses over arranging a crucial state banquet for Senator Ong, Anakin tries to ease her worries. However, when 3PO and R2 forget the Jogan fruit needed for Ong's favorite dessert, Padme sends Anakin to handle it, giving them credits for the purchase. At the market, 3PO and R2 encounter a vendor offering the needed fruit at a higher price than agreed. Reluctantly, 3PO accepts, but they are soon lured to a droid spa by a devious suggestion. While R2 enjoys the spa, 3PO is kidnapped by Cad Bane's gang. Taken to Bane's hideout, 3PO faces brutal interrogation for Senate layout information, unaware that R2 holds the knowledge. Bane shifts focus to R2, who surrenders to protect his friend. After obtaining the information, Bane wipes the droids' memories and releases them. Oblivious to their ordeal, they return in time for the banquet. Meanwhile, Bane delivers the stolen plans to Jabba and accepts a new mission to free Zero the Hutt. As events unfold, the droids remain unaware of their unwitting involvement in a larger scheme, while Bane's agenda deepens with each assignment. As Zero the Hutt is liberated by Cad Bane, he and Stasai Smoodles escape to Mama the Hutt's abode with the Holodiary containing incriminating information. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, Obi-Wan and the unconventional Jedi Master Quinlan Vos are tasked with retrieving Zero and apprehending Cad Bane. Traveling to Nal Hutta, Obi-Wan and Vos confront the Hutt Council, who deny any involvement in Zero's escape. Vos uses his psychometric abilities to track Zero's presence, leading them to Mama's hideout. There, they discover Zero's plan to retrieve the Holodiary from his father's grave. However, Sai betrays Zero, killing him and taking the Holodiary for herself. As Obi-Wan and Vos confront Bane, a fierce battle ensues. Despite Bane's escape, Sai delivers the Holodiary to her true master. As tensions rise in the Senate over war funding and negotiations with the Separatists, Padme seeks Ahsoka's help to visit Senator Mina Bonteri, an old friend who has joined the Separatists. With Padme's cunning plan, they manage to smuggle themselves into enemy territory on Raxus Secundus and meet with Bonteri. Despite Ahsoka's initial distrust of the Separatists, she begins to reconsider her views as Bonteri shares her reasons for leaving the Republic and recounts personal losses due to the war. Ahsoka's interactions with Lux, Bonteri's son, further challenge her perceptions of the war's complexities. Padme and Bonteri agree on a plan to initiate peace negotiations between the Senate and the Separatist Parliament, which receives general approval. However, Count Dooku secretly orders General Grievous to sabotage Coruscant, leading to a massive power failure during the Senate vote on the peace proposal. The attack sways the Senate's attitude, resulting in the passage of the bill for deregulating the banks and continuing the war effort. Despite facing reprimands for her actions, Ahsoka gains a more vivid understanding of the conflict and its complexities. Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano respond to a mysterious distress call and are drawn into a strange planet. Anakin encounters a being named Daughter, who tests him, while Obi-Wan communicates with the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn. Ahsoka receives a warning from her future self. Anakin confronts the planet's inhabitants, Son and Daughter, who reveal themselves as powerful Force wielders. They hold Obi-Wan and Ahsoka captive, forcing Anakin to choose. Using the planet's force-amplifying properties, Anakin saves them but refuses to stay and balance the siblings' power. As he leaves, ominous music hints at his internal conflict. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka are trapped on Mortis, facing the dark influence of Son. Anakin seeks guidance from Father, but is tempted by Son's visions of a dire future. Obi-Wan tries to intervene, but is thwarted by Son. Anakin falls under Son's sway, but Ahsoka sabotages their escape plan and rescues Obi-Wan. Father erases Anakin's memory of the dark visions, leading to a confrontation where Father sacrifices himself to stop Son's power. Anakin defeats Son, fulfilling his destiny as the Chosen One.
The Chosen One.
With Father's death, Mortis returns to normal and the Jedi return to their shuttle, seemingly only moments after their disappearance.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. We're coming in now.
Anakin, Ahsoka, and Plo Koon lead an attack on a droid base on Felucia. During the battle, Ahsoka is kidnapped by Trandoshan hunters and taken to the moon Waska. There she joins forces with Jedi younglings Khalifa, Omer, and Jinx, who have been surviving on their own. Ahsoka decides to take action against their captors and begins to plan an escape. However, tragedy strikes when Khalifa is fatally wounded during a confrontation with the Trandoshans. Back on Felucia, Anakin is desperate to find Ahsoka, but receives counsel from Plo Koon to trust in her abilities.
She shall take care of herself and find a way back to you.
In the briar jungles of Island 4, Ahsoka manages to evade her Trandoshan pursuer and overhears Garnak, Dar's father, vowing revenge. Returning to the hideout, she shares the news of Khalifa's death with Jinx and Omer, who are devastated. Despite their grief, Ahsoka suggests attacking the dropship, delivering more prisoners, lifting their spirits. They attempt a daring escape, but the ship sustains damage, forcing them to retreat. They rescue Chewbacca, the only prisoner, and plan to contact Kashyyyk for help using the ship's wreckage. Sneaking back to the ship, they capture a sniper to aid their plan. Though their initial transmitter fails, they decide to hijack a hunting pod. Despite setbacks, a Wookiee relief force arrives just in time to save them. Ahsoka defeats Garnak and reunites with Anakin at the Jedi Temple, expressing gratitude for his teachings. They share a moment of mutual respect, acknowledging their bond as master and apprentice.
All I had was your training, and the lessons you taught me. Thank you, Master.
Season 4, after the assassination of King Kalina of Mon Cala, tensions between the Mon Calamari and Quarren escalate, exacerbated by separatist interference. Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker attempt mediation, but the Quarren leave, signaling impending conflict. Jedi Master Kit Fisto and Ahsoka Tano lead Republic forces underwater to aid Prince Lee Char against the Quarren's surprise attack, bolstered by separatist reinforcements. Amidst fierce combat, Ahsoka defends Lee Char from Tamsin's assaults, preventing his capture. As the Republic and Mon Cala forces regroup, the Quarren unveil a devastating weapon, Hydroid Medusas. Despite heavy losses and Dooku's order to enslave Mon Cala, Lee Char finds hope through Akbar and Ahsoka's encouragement, determined to fight on.
Hey, you learn the hardest lesson a commander can learn. How to live to fight another day.
With communication cut off and their ship destroyed, Anakin, Padme, Ahsoka, Kit Fisto, Captain Akbar, Prince Lee Char, and Senator Tills cling to sinking debris, splitting into two groups to evade capture. Anakin collapses the planetary scanner facility to blind the planetary defenses, while Lee Char, with Ahsoka's counsel, encourages his people from hiding.
People of Mon Cala, all people of Mon Cala who would not be slaves, have hope!
The Jedi Council seeks aid from the Gungan Grand Army, arriving in time to assist. However, Tamsin's forces create chaos with artificial whirlpools, leading to the capture of many. Despite setbacks, Ahsoka encourages Lee Char to persevere, and they vow to continue the fight. Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, Kit Fisto, and Jar Jar Binks are captured by Rift Tamsin and imprisoned with droids and Mon Calamari eels. Meanwhile, Prince Lee Char and Ahsoka decide to free the prisoners to bolster their forces. Lee Char challenges Tamsin's claim of leadership and appeals to Nasser Ree's loyalty to his late father in the previous harmony between Mon Calamari and Quarren. Tamsin orders Lee Char's execution, but Ree has a change of heart and saves him. The united forces of Mon Cala, Quarren, Jedi, Gungans, and clones defeat the separatist droid forces. Lee Char kills Tamsin and is crowned the new king, restoring peace between the two races.
I present King Lee Char! Long live the king!
Anakin and Padme intervene when they discover Boss Lyone's plan to attack Theed, only to find out that Lyone is under the influence of a mind control necklace provided by Rish Lu, who's in league with Count Dooku. Anakin removes the necklace, but Rish Lu escapes after injuring Lyone. Anakin devises a plan for Jar Jar to impersonate Lyone and stall the attack. When General Grievous arrives, Jar Jar attempts to deceive him, but Grievous eventually realizes the deception. Despite Tarpal's sacrifice in capturing Grievous, Anakin falls into Dooku's trap and is captured. Padme agrees to exchange herself for Anakin's release, and despite the grim circumstances, Jar Jar is praised for his role in restoring peace between the Gungans and the Naboo. The relief mission to Aleen starts off on a positive note, with the Republic troops receiving a warm welcome from King Manchucho and the Alena villagers. However, a series of earthquakes disrupt the proceedings, leading to an unexpected turn of events when C-3PO and R2-D2 stumble upon a mysterious underground world inhabited by sentient tree-like beings called Kindalo. These beings reveal that the earthquakes are caused by a disruption in the balance between the surface dwellers and the subterranean inhabitants. With the help of Orphan, a mystical being with amphibian-like features, C-3PO and R2-D2 learn about the importance of restoring balance and are given a riddle to solve.
You can run, but cannot walk. You have a mouth, but cannot talk. Ask yourself, who are you?
Through clever deduction and teamwork, they realize that they hold the key to stopping the earthquakes by sealing the breach between the surface and the underground world. Using their unique abilities as droids, C-3PO and R2-D2 successfully close the breach and bring an end to the earthquakes. Though their efforts may go unnoticed by some, they are hailed as heroes by the grateful Alina villagers, who bid them a fond farewell. Amidst their recounting of their recent escapades to Senator Amidala, C-3PO and R2-D2 find themselves abruptly under attack as General Grievous and his separatist forces surprise them, leading to a frantic evacuation of their damaged ship. In a desperate bid for survival, R2 takes control of the Y-Wing, narrowly escaping to the nearby planet Patite Patuna. However, their troubles are far from over as they encounter the hostile native Patatites, led by the despotic Heizu. After inadvertently dispatching Heizu, the droids find themselves unexpectedly celebrated by the Patatites, who assist them in repairing their damaged ship. Declining an offer of leadership, the droids depart only to encounter further misadventures on the planet Balnab. Captured by the Balnabs and facing a holographic Great Leader, the droids uncover a deception and incite the Balnabs to revolt against their false ruler. Fleeing from the ensuing chaos, the droids ultimately find themselves in the clutches of Weequay pirates, forced into a gladiatorial battle for survival. Their ordeal takes a dire turn as Grievous arrives, subjecting the pirate ship to his firepower. Miraculously surviving, C-3PO and R2-D2 find themselves captured by separatist forces, only to be rescued by Master Plo Koon and the Republic fleet. As they recount their harrowing experiences to Commander Wolffe and the Republic forces, C-3PO launches into a detailed retelling, much to the frustration of those around them. The Jedi and their clone allies infiltrate Zageria to rescue the captured Togruta colonists from Queen Mirav Sintel's clutches. Battling through Zagarian guards, they confront the Queen herself, facing formidable resistance. With skill and determination, they defeat the Zagerians and free the colonists, returning to Kira as they're hailed as heroes by the grateful Togruta. Despite the dangers, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka remain dedicated to defending the innocent and preserving peace in the galaxy. As they make their way to their next target, tensions rise between Obi-Wan and the dangerous duo of Moralo Eval and Cad Bane. With the fate of Chancellor Palpatine hanging in the balance, Obi-Wan must navigate a delicate dance of deception and manipulation to maintain his cover. Meanwhile, Anakin and Ahsoka, unaware of Obi-Wan's true mission, continue their investigation, determined to uncover the truth behind the apparent assassination plot. As the stakes escalate and alliances shift, Obi-Wan finds himself caught in a dangerous game of cat and mouse, where one wrong move could spell disaster for the Republic and the Jedi Order.
You did well in there, Hardeen. Maybe there's a place for you in my plans after all.
As Anakin comes to terms with the revelation that Obi-Wan is alive and undercover, he grapples with a whirlwind of emotions, from relief to betrayal to determination. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan, Moralo Eval, and Cad Bane continue their high-stakes game of survival and subterfuge, navigating the treacherous underworld of Nal Hutta while evading Republic pursuit. With tensions escalating and loyalties shifting, the fate of Chancellor Palpatine hangs in the balance, and Anakin finds himself torn between his loyalty to the Jedi Order and his desire to protect those he cares about. As the truth slowly unravels and new dangers emerge, Anakin must confront the complexities of trust, duty, and the murky line between right and wrong. With the Republic in turmoil and dark forces moving behind the scenes. At the same time, Yoda and Windu learn from Palpatine that he has sent Anakin after the fugitives, so the two Jedi Masters decide to reveal the truth to Skywalker, lest he endanger the mission or end up even worse. As the survivors of the challenge are entrusted with Count Dooku's plan to kidnap Chancellor Palpatine, tensions within the group simmer. Obi-Wan, still disguised as Hardeen, wrestles with his moral compass, unwilling to take a life even for the sake of the mission. Bane, begrudgingly respecting Obi-Wan's principles, takes charge of the strike team, recognizing his strategic prowess and combat skills. Meanwhile, Anakin Skywalker, unaware of Obi-Wan's true mission, grapples with conflicting emotions upon learning of his mentor's supposed death and subsequent involvement in the dangerous plot. As Yoda confirms the truth to Anakin, the young Jedi faces a reckoning with his own sense of trust and loyalty. As the stage is set for the daring abduction of Chancellor Palpatine, the stakes soar to new heights. In the Jedi Temple, Anakin, Ahsoka, and the Jedi High Council strategize for Chancellor Palpatine's visit to Naboo. Meanwhile, disguised as bounty hunters, Obi-Wan, Cad Bane, and others plan to kidnap Palpatine during the Festival of Light. Despite warnings from Obi-Wan, the shield protecting Palpatine is deactivated, and the Chancellor is taken. Obi-Wan pursues the kidnappers and thwarts their escape, leading to a confrontation with Cad Bane. Ultimately, Obi-Wan rescues Palpatine, but Anakin's anger at being kept in the dark strains his relationship with the Jedi. Suspecting foul play, Obi-Wan discovers Dooku's surveillance and foils an ambush, culminating in a duel between Anakin and Dooku. With Obi-Wan's help, Anakin defeats Dooku and saves Palpatine, but Palpatine's manipulations sow seeds of doubt about the Jedi's role in the galaxy. After being welcomed back to the Night Sisters by Mother Talzin, Ventress embraces her new path and undergoes the initiation ritual. However, Count Dooku, seeking revenge for Ventress's attempt on his life, orders General Grievous to attack the Night Sisters. Despite Ventress's leadership and the magical assistance of the Night Sisters, Grievous unleashes the defoliator tanks, devastating their ranks. Ventress confronts Grievous in single combat, but is forced to retreat when overwhelmed by his forces. Mother Talzin, realizing the dire situation, calls upon Old Daka to resurrect the fallen Night Sisters as an army of the dead. With their combined efforts, they repel the Separatist attack momentarily. Talzin also uses dark magic to torment Dooku, but Grievous intervenes and kills Daka, disrupting the resurrection magic. Without reinforcements, the Night Sisters are massacred and Ventress narrowly escapes death at Grievous' hands. In the aftermath, Talzin's apparition appears to Ventress, assuring her that while their destinies are intertwined, Ventress has a new path to follow. With the Night Sisters destroyed, Ventress faces an uncertain future, but she is encouraged by Talzin's words to embrace her own journey.
Have your own path to follow now.
Ventress, reeling from her recent losses, finds herself coerced into joining a bounty hunter team after a scuffle in a Tatooine tavern. Led by Boba Fett, the group is tasked with protecting a mysterious chest bound for Korzite's ruler, Ocho Blanc. During the mission, Ventress clashes with Boba, but ultimately forms an unexpected bond with the young bounty hunter. As the team faces off against raiders seeking the chest's contents, they discover it holds Pluma Sodi, a young woman to be married against her will. Ventress sympathizes with Pluma's plight and helps her reunite with her brother Crismo. Despite tensions within the group, Ventress successfully delivers the chest to Ocho Blanc, only for Boba to emerge from it as a surprise. Ventress negotiates a fee for returning Pluma to her brother, showcasing a newfound compassion. Ultimately, Ventress parts ways with the bounty hunters, having earned her share of the bounty and gained a renewed sense of purpose.
But I'm not that person anymore. Now, I have a future.
Savage Oprez continues his relentless search for his brother, Maul, growing stronger and more unpredictable by the day. Count Dooku alerts General Grievous to Savage's increasing power, while Asajj Ventress and Anakin Skywalker sense disturbances caused by their respective allies, Let's Razi and Ahsoka Tano. Following a confrontation at a diner on Stobar, Savage discovers clues pointing to Maul's whereabouts on Lothal Minor. Skywalker also visits the diner, diffusing a tense situation. Arriving on Lothal Minor, Savage follows his amulet's guidance to the Junklands, where he encounters Morley and Anacondan, who betrays him to a deranged Maul. Maul, now a half-spider cyborg, reveals his tragic transformation and desire for revenge on the Jedi. Morley's betrayal leads to a confrontation, ending in his demise. Meanwhile, Yoda informs Obi-Wan of Maul's return, signaling a new threat to the galaxy. Reunited on Dathomir, Mother Talzin restores Maul's sanity and replaces his spider-like cybernetics with new legs. Maul reflects on surviving his dark past and feels robbed of his destiny by the Clone Wars. Seeking revenge on Obi-Wan, Maul and Savage Opress lure him to Raydonia by slaughtering villagers and sending a hologram message to the Jedi Temple. Obi-Wan, determined to face them alone, is ambushed and captured. However, Ventress, pursuing a bounty on Savage, intervenes and teams up with Obi-Wan. Together, they confront Maul and Opress but are forced to flee, leaving the brothers dissatisfied and vengeful.
They will be coming for us.
I am counting on it.
Season 5, the Jedi Council reluctantly agrees to Anakin's plan to train Onderonian rebels, led by Lux Bonteri and Stila Gerrera, in subversive combat tactics against the Separatists. Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex, and Obi-Wan travel to Onderon to aid the rebels. They meet the leaders and begin training the insurgents. During the training, tensions arise between Lux and Saw Gerrera, as well as hints of a personal connection between Lux and Stila. When Separatist recon droids discover the rebel base, the Jedi and rebels engage in their first battle together, successfully defeating the enemy. They then plan a covert assault on the droids and Isis. Despite initial reluctance, Obi-Wan cautiously acknowledged the potential of Anakin's strategy, expressing hope for its success. The Onderan rebels, led by Lux Bonteri, Saw Gerrera, and Stila Gerrera, along with Jedi advisors Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and clone trooper Rex, continue their attacks on the separatist droid forces in Isis. They aim to gain the trust of the Onderan people by striking strategic blows against the occupation without harming civilians. King Sanjay Rash blames his predecessor Ramses Dendup for the uprising, but Dendup argues that Rash's collaboration with the separatists sparked the rebellion. After discussing their strategies, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Rex depart for Coruscant to report to the Jedi Council, leaving Ahsoka behind to advise the rebels. Lux proposes attacking the city's power station to cripple the droids, and Saw retrieves information from a captured battle droid to plan the assault. The rebels execute a successful ambush on a droid patrol and hijack a tank to destroy the power generator, causing a citywide blackout and earning the support of the Onderan citizens. During the celebration, Ahsoka observes the growing bond between Lux and Stila, while Anakin advises her to prioritize the mission over personal feelings. The Jedi Council advises the rebels to prepare for Count Dooku's inevitable retaliation and suggests electing a leader to unite the people. Despite Saw's objections, Stila is unanimously chosen as the rebel leader. Meanwhile, Rash informs Dooku of the situation, leading Dooku to send more reinforcements and the capable General Kalani to quell the rebellion. As the Onderan rebels continue their fight against the separatist occupation, they struggle to gain the trust of the people. Sanjay Rash plans to execute former King Ramses Dendup to crush rebel morale. Ahsoka grapples with her loyalty to the Jedi Council and her sympathy for the rebels, but ultimately chooses to follow orders. Saw Gerrera attempts to rescue Dendup, but is captured and tortured by General Kalani. Despite the torture, Saw remains loyal to the cause. Rebel leader Stila decides to halt Dendup's execution, prioritizing his rescue over Saw's. With unexpected support from Onderan's military commander Tandon, the rebels free Dendup and Saw, escaping a showdown with separatist forces. Back at their hideout, the rebels and Onderan's military pledge loyalty to Dendup. Aware of the Jedi's involvement, Ahsoka reports to Obi-Wan and Anakin, prompting the Jedi to consider openly supporting the rebellion against Count Dooku. The decision to take sides in the impending battle weighs heavily on the Jedi Council.
Will you be able to send some help?
That's up to the Council, Ahsoka.
Ahsoka and Lux execute a plan to rally the people of Onderan against the separatists by broadcasting former King Ramses Dendup's message exposing Rash lies. The citizens rise up in rebellion, causing chaos in the city. Meanwhile, Kalani devises a plan to crush the rebels and Dendup in one decisive strike. Back at the rebel camp, Stila gains Dendup's trust and is appointed general for the impending battle. The rebels, along with loyal Onderan military forces, prepare to confront the droid army. As the battle ensues, the rebels face heavy losses until Anakin enlists the help of pirate Hondo Ohnaka to supply them with weapons. With the aid of the newly acquired rocket launchers, the rebels gain an advantage, but Stila is gravely injured while rescuing Dendup. Ahsoka attempts to save her, but inadvertently drops her to her death while fending off the remaining droids. Despite the loss, the rebellion's momentum forces the separatists to retreat, leading to Rash's execution. In a public memorial, Stila is honored for her sacrifice. Lux reveals his intention to lead Onderan back to the Republic as its senator, signaling a new chapter for the planet's future. The younglings' journey to obtain their lightsaber crystals on Ilum proves to be a test not only of their abilities, but also of their character. As they face various challenges within the crystal caves, each youngling must confront their own fears and doubts. Petro's initial overconfidence leads him astray, but he learns the importance of humility and teamwork as he helps Katuni and ultimately finds his own crystal. Katuni demonstrates courage and resilience as she faces the obstacle of the ice wall, and her willingness to help Petro despite his earlier dismissal of her shows her selflessness. Ganji's bravery is tested as he traverses the treacherous ice floats, showcasing his determination and inner strength. Ganodi's experience in the Cave of Crystals teaches her the value of patience and trust in herself and her abilities. Zat's reliance on technology initially hinders him, but he learns to trust his instincts and intuition to find his crystal. Bai's encounter with the creature in the cave challenges his fear, but he finds the courage to confront it and claim his crystal. Through their individual struggles, each youngling learns important lessons about perseverance, cooperation, and facing their fears. Ultimately, the true test for the younglings is not the physical obstacles they encounter, but the inner demons they must overcome. As they emerge from the crystal caves with their crystals in hand, they have not only proven their worthiness to become Jedi, but also demonstrated the qualities of character that define a true Jedi Knight. As the younglings gather around Yoda, the old Jedi Master reveals that the true trap in this test was not the sheet of ice on the inner door, but their own fears and insecurities.
Trust, confidence, and selflessness.
The younglings find themselves in a dire situation as they confront Hondo Ohnaka and his pirates aboard the Jedi training cruiser. With Ahsoka taken captive, they must rely on their training and resourcefulness to outwit the pirates and secure their own safety. Petra's cunning use of his lightsaber to stun the pirates buys them some time, but they soon find themselves facing Ohnaka himself. However, with Ahsoka's timely arrival, they are able to hold off the pirates long enough to escape to safety. The younglings' ingenuity is on full display as they use their lightsaber training drones to set a trap for the pirates, managing to eliminate 2 of them in the process. Despite the danger they face, they remain calm and focused, working together to execute their plan. As they make their escape, younglings are forced to deliver the news of Ahsoka's capture to the Jedi High Council. Despite the gravity of the situation, they remain determined to rescue their friend and mentor, demonstrating the courage and resolve of true Jedi. Meanwhile, Ahsoka finds herself in a precarious situation as Ohnaka plans to capitalize on her capture. However, with her training and determination, she remains hopeful that she will find a way to escape and rejoin her young charges. The younglings' daring rescue mission on Florum is underway as they work together to free Ahsoka from Hondo Ohnaka's clutches. With quick thinking and resourcefulness, they manage to infiltrate the pirate base disguised as acrobats and perform a stunt to distract Hondo and his crew. As the younglings execute their plan, Katuni retrieves Ahsoka's lightsabers and frees her from captivity, allowing them to make their escape. Despite facing opposition from the pirates, the young Jedi are able to steal a speeder and race back to the Crucible. Meanwhile, Ahsoka expresses her gratitude to the younglings for their bravery and determination, acknowledging that sometimes doing the right thing means bending the rules. With their mission accomplished, the younglings prepare to make a hasty retreat from Florum aboard the Crucible, grateful to have rescued their friend and mentor. The daring escape from Florum marks a turning point for Ahsoka and her youngling companions as they not only manage to evade capture by both pirates and separatists, but also successfully liberate Hondo Ohnaka and his crew. With quick thinking and teamwork, they outmaneuver General Grievous and his forces, ultimately securing their freedom. As they regroup with Republic forces and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka reflects on the trials they faced and the invaluable lessons learned during their mission. Despite the dangers they encountered, the younglings emerge victorious, their bravery and determination shining brightly as they are formally welcomed into the Jedi Order. Huang's comparison of their mission to Master Yoda's journey to obtain his Kyber crystal serves as a reminder of the significance of their achievements. With their lightsabers ignited, the younglings stand united, ready to embrace their roles as Jedi and continue their training under the guidance of Ahsoka and the other Jedi Masters. Obi-Wan's acknowledgement of their success and his invitation for them to join in a ceremonial wheel with their lightsabers symbolizes their acceptance into the Jedi Order, marking the beginning of their journey as Jedi Knights. The unlikely team of Republic droids, led by Colonel Meeber Gaskin, embarks on a daring mission to capture a separatist decoding module from within the vault of an enemy battleship. Despite initial misgivings and clashes in personalities, the droids must learn to work together in order to succeed. Bermudez Su-47's overconfidence and penchant for taking matters into his own hands initially create complications for the team, but through a series of challenges and setbacks, they gradually come to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. Gaston's admission of his lack of field experience and selfish motivations serves as a turning point, leading to a truce between him and the droids. Despite facing obstacles such as a power outage caused by M5BZ's accidental shock and the interference of the ship's droid commander, Ott-O, the team manages to overcome these challenges through teamwork and cooperation. R2's quick thinking to disable the artificial gravity proves instrumental in neutralizing the enemy droids. In the end, the droid team successfully secures the decoding module and escapes from the battleship. With a newfound appreciation for each other's abilities, the D Squad faces perilous challenges as they navigate through a comet storm and crash land on the wasteland planet of Abafar. Despite Gaskin's initial insistence on waiting by the ship, R2-D2 takes the lead and sets out to conclude their mission with the encryption module. His determination prompts the rest of the droids to follow, including Gaskin himself, who doesn't want to lose his chance at glory. As they traverse the desolate landscape, Gaskin's frustrations and superiority complex resurface, leading to tensions within the group. However, WAC-47's blunt honesty and steadfast determination help to challenge Gaskin's perspective and keep the team focused on their goal. An encounter with the wreckage of another ship and its deceased crew serves as a grim reminder of their precarious situation, pushing Gaskin to the brink of despair. But it is WAC's unwavering resolve and persistence that ultimately reignites Gaskin's determination to survive and succeed. Their journey takes an unexpected turn when they encounter a herd of strange creatures, whose instincts lead them to safety and civilization. Gaskin's decision to trust the creatures proves fruitful as they guide the team to water and a hidden city beneath the planet's surface, where they reunite with the rest of the D-Squad. D-Squad arrives in Pons Aura, a sketchy town. Gaskin and WAC enter a diner for refreshments but get kicked out by the cook, Vorkus. They find Gregor, a dishwasher, who doesn't know he's a clone. D-Squad needs his help to stop the Separatists, so after work, Gregor asks Vorkus about being a clone, but he tells him to forget it. Then D-Squad finds a big ship guarded by Separatists, and Gaskin asks Gregor to help them, but they find out Gregor is a commando clone. They confront Vorkus, who has Gregor's gear, and Vorkus reveals the Separatists' plan to blow up a Republic ship. D-Squad decides to stop them, and Gregor covers their escape, but he gets surrounded by the enemy. He ultimately sacrifices himself to save the others, and Gaskin promises they won't forget him.
You will be remembered, Captain Gregor. We will take your heroic story back to the Republic.
D-Squad, led by Colonel Gaskin, infiltrates a commandeered Venator-class Star Destroyer, discovering it's been seized by Separatist droids aiming to destroy Republic ships with Rhydonium explosives. They encounter Bunny, a Republic droid seeking escape. Gaskin learns the ship is heading to a Republic strategy conference, putting top officials at risk. Chasing a spy buzz droid, they face a swarm, resulting in BZ's sacrifice. R2 reprograms the bomb trigger, but faces a super tactical droid. WAC leaves without R2, who triggers the bomb, saving the fleet. Gaskin commends R2's bravery and vows to honor him. They inform Anakin of R2's sacrifice, and he's retrieved and repaired. Gaskin welcomes D-Squad into his platoon, moved by R2's sacrifice.
We will be seeing each other every day for the rest of the war!
That's great, Whack.
Season 6. On a mission to retake a space station, Clone Trooper Tup unexpectedly attacks and kills Jedi Master Tiplar, displaying strange behavior. Suspecting Separatist involvement, Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker orders Tup's return to Kamino for examination. Count Dooku and Darth Sidious fear Tup's condition could expose their plans and order his abduction. As Tup is transported, Separatist forces attack, killing the clones guarding him and taking Tup. Skywalker, Captain Rex, and ARC Trooper Fives pursue, boarding the Separatist ship and rescuing Tup. Fives insists on accompanying Tup to Kamino for further investigation, and they depart together. Rex and Fives escort Tup to Kamino, where Fives is quarantined due to fears of a virus. Tup undergoes examination, but confusion arises when tests for a virus come back negative. Tup awakens, muttering about killing Jedi, leading to speculation of Separatist brainwashing. Disagreements erupt between Nala C and Shock T over Tup's fate. Fives convinces AZI-3 to conduct a brain scan, revealing a tumor, likely his inhibitor chip. Nala C orders Tup's termination, but Fives persuades AZI-3 to perform a biopsy. Tup dies after revealing cryptic dreams shared by all clones. In a meeting with Chancellor Palpatine, Shock T suggests sending the tumor to the Jedi Temple, but Palpatine opts for the Grand Republic Medical Facility, backed by Nala C. Fives, realizing Tup's tumor has been swapped, escapes Kamino with AZI-3. They uncover the tumor's origins and its connection to Jango Fett's DNA. Fives discovers he too has an implanted chip and insists on its removal. They find that all clones are implanted with similar chips to curb aggression. Nala C, fearing discovery, orders their termination, but Shock T intervenes, declaring the clones Republic property. Fives and the evidence are sent to Coruscant for further investigation, challenging the Kaminoans' control over the clone army. Fives, Shock T, and Nala C arrive at Coruscant. Nala C injects Fives with a drug before meeting Chancellor Palpatine. Fives claims the chips are part of a Separatist plot, but when he tries to confront Palpatine, Shock T intervenes. Fives escapes, and Shock T reports the incident to the Jedi Council. Anakin volunteers to find Fives discreetly. Fives seeks help from fellow clones at a bar, warning them of the chip's danger. He arranges to meet Anakin and Rex, but is followed by probe droids. At the meeting, Fives reveals the plot to use the chips to kill Jedi. Despite his pleas, Commander Fox fatally shoots Fives. Palpatine claims the chips were a parasite, hiding his involvement. Meanwhile, Dooku is instructed to destroy evidence of the chips by Sidious. Confirming their sinister plan, Order 66.
To execute Order 66.
Senator Amidala arrives on Scipio to negotiate a loan for the Republic with the banking clan. She encounters Rush Clovis, who claims the clan is bankrupt. Despite her distrust, Amidala agrees to help him investigate. Clovis plans to disrupt the Vault's power to access incriminating files. Amidala succeeds, but Tekla, her handmaiden, is killed during the operation. Later, Clovis is revealed as the mastermind and Amidala is arrested. Anakin arrives to rescue her and confronts Clovis. They escape, but bounty hunter Embo pursues them. Amidala, Clovis, and Skywalker survive the chase, but Embo reports to Darth Sidious, hinting at darker intentions. On Coruscant, Clovis presents evidence of corruption within the banking clan to Chancellor Palpatine and the Jedi Council. Padme vouches for him despite Anakin's objections. Meanwhile, Sidious instructs Dooku to recruit Clovis, intending to manipulate him into serving the Sith's agenda. Anakin's distrust grows as Clovis and Padme grow closer, leading to a violent confrontation between Anakin and Clovis. Padme decides to distance herself from Anakin due to his lack of trust and violent behavior. Clovis receives an offer from Count Dooku to lead the banking clan with support from the Separatists. Clovis gains Senate support to lead the banking clan despite Anakin's warnings. Palpatine acknowledges Anakin's concerns but expresses his private confidence in Clovis. Anakin, however, remains wary, sensing there may be more to Clovis than meets the eye. Clovis and Amidala return to Scipio, where Clovis is hailed as a hero for exposing the corruption within the banking clan. However, Dooku pressures Clovis to raise interest rates on Republic loans, leading to a confrontation with Amidala. As tensions rise, Separatist forces invade Scipio, trapping Amidala. Clovis is revealed to have made a deal with Dooku, but Amidala refuses to join them. Dooku kills Loaiz, framing Clovis for Amidala's arrest. The Senate votes to counter-invade Scipio. In the chaos, Amidala confronts Clovis, who still insists he can fix things. Anakin leads the Republic fleet to Scipio, engaging the Separatists in battle. Clovis, realizing his mistake, sacrifices himself to save Amidala and Anakin. The Moon government dissolves the banking clan, handing control to the Republic. As the senators chant, "Long live the banks," Palpatine pledges to restore the bank's integrity once the war ends. Meanwhile, Amidala and Anakin reconcile as the Senate celebrates the victory. Queen Julia of Bardata seeks help from the Galactic Senate for the disappearance of Dagoyan masters. Chancellor Palpatine suggests sending Senators Bail Organa and Padme at Amidala, but the Queen insists on meeting with Gundam representative Jar Jar Binks. Mace Windu accompanies Binks to Bardota. Alone with the Queen, she reveals a prophecy indicating dire consequences if the missing masters are not found. Concerned about Binks' prolonged absence, Windu interrupts but is escorted out. Binks later discovers the Queen's disappearance and is captured by a cult draining the Dagoyan's force energy. Windu rushes to rescue him, but the cult escapes with the Queen. Determined, Binks vows to save her with Windu's aid and rescue the Queen. Windu and Jar Jar thwart the Frangal cult's plot on Bardota, rescuing Queen Julia and preventing a dark ritual led by Mother Talzin. Despite initial mistrust, their teamwork prevails, showcasing unity between Bardotans and the Jedi. Windu's Jedi prowess and Binks' unorthodox methods overcome cultists and temple guardians, halting the ritual just in time. As the planets align, Queen Julia sacrifices herself to save Jar Jar from the cult leader's attack, causing a powerful explosion that disperses the Force energy. With Bardota saved, a new era of cooperation between Bardotans and the Jedi dawns, cementing their bond through shared heroism and mutual respect. The discovery of Jedi Master Sifo Dyas' lightsaber on Obadiah prompts an investigation by the Jedi Council. They learn that Sifo Dyas ordered the creation of the clone army, but details about his death on Felucia are murky. Chancellor Palpatine deflects questions about Sifo Dyas, pointing to his predecessor, Finifalorum. Meanwhile, Darth Sidious urges Dooku to handle the situation, warning him to eliminate loose ends. Anakin and Obi-Wan confront the Pike Syndicate, discovering that Dooku, posing as Tyrannus, orchestrated Sifo Dyas' demise. In a duel, Dooku defeats Anakin and escapes, confirming his role as the puppet master behind the clone army's creation. The Jedi Council realizes they're entangled in the Sith scheme, forced to navigate a dangerous game orchestrated by their enemies. Yoda experiences encounters with the voice of Qui-Gon Jinn, believed to be communicating from the living Force. Concerned, the Jedi Council suggests treatments for Yoda, fearing Sith influence. Qui-Gon advises Yoda to travel to Dagobah, where he learns about the nature of the Force and receives guidance on confronting the Sith. In her vision, Yoda witnesses the devastating effects of the Clone War and learns of Darth Sidious' role in orchestrating it. Qui-Gon instructs Yoda to seek further training at the origin of all life, offering hope amid the darkness. Yoda, renewed with purpose, sets out on a journey to deepen his understanding of the Force and confront the looming threat of the Sith. Yoda follows Qui-Gon Jinn's guidance to a planet within a golden nebula, where he encounters the 5 priestesses, embodiments of different emotions. Skeptical at first, Yoda undergoes trials to prove his readiness to train someone significant to the universe. He confronts his dark side and overcomes temptation in visions of loss and an alternate reality. Accepting the interconnectedness of light and dark, Yoda defeats his shadow and sees through the illusion of the utopia. The priestesses reveal their existence as manifestations of the living and cosmic forces. Yet Yoda's final trial awaits on Moraband. Yoda undertakes the final trial on Moraband, facing illusions and temptations orchestrated by the Sith. He encounters Sifo-Dyas, who transforms into Darth Sidious, leading Yoda to a vision where he witnesses Anakin Skywalker's confrontation with Count Dooku and Darth Sidious. In a duel with Sidious, Yoda saves Anakin but sacrifices himself to thwart the Sith's plans. Awakening from the ordeal, Yoda learns from the Force priestesses that he will continue his training with Qui-Gon Jinn. He returns to Coruscant with a newfound perspective, believing victory in the Clone Wars may lie in an alternate path, unknown to the Sith. Refusing to divulge his experiences, Yoda hints at a different approach for the Jedi Order's future.
Not victory in the Clone Wars, but victory for all time.
Season 7, Ahsoka, after crashing her speeder in Coruscant's lower levels, meets Trace Martez, who offers assistance with repairs. During their encounter, thugs demand payment owed by Trace's sister, Rafa. Ahsoka aids in repelling them. Later, she assists Trace with malfunctioning droids, secretly using the Force to deactivate them. Rafa takes on a risky job to transport spice from Kessel to the Pike Syndicate on Obadiah, utilizing Trace's ship, the Silver Angel. Concerned about the Pikes seizing their vessel along with the cargo, Ahsoka clashes with Rafa. In a bold move, Trace ejects the spice into hyperspace to avoid entanglements. Ahsoka attempts to deceive the Pikes by implicating Kessel's ruler, Yoruba, but their plan fails, leading to their capture by the crime syndicate. Back in their cell, Rafa suggests taking on another job for Krim, but Fife remains skeptical of their trustworthiness. When Trace confronts Fife about potential torture, he insists they'll stay imprisoned until they surrender the spice. Left alone, Rafa expresses remorse for their situation. Ahsoka offers reassurance, emphasizing the value of learning from mistakes. Trace concurs, but wonders how much longer they can endure their predicament. Ahsoka, Trace, and Rafa find themselves imprisoned by the Pike Syndicate. During their captivity, the Martez sisters share their tragic past. Their parents were inadvertently killed by Jedi while apprehending Zero the Hutt. Ahsoka discreetly uses the Force to aid their escape, but their freedom is short-lived as they are recaptured by the Pikes. Ahsoka brokers a deal with the Pikes, allowing the Martez sisters to retrieve the spice while she remains captive. However, later, she escapes, planting explosives throughout the facility. She overhears the Pikes conversing with Darth Maul, who is on Mandalore. Meanwhile, the Martez sisters steal the spice and return to Obadiah, discovering Ahsoka's Jedi identity. They flee after detonating the facility. Pursued by Mandalorians, including Bo-Katan, they return to Coruscant. Bo-Katan convinces Ahsoka of their shared enmity towards Maul. Trace says she can help the Mandalorians like she has helped them, but Ahsoka is reluctant, saying she's afraid of the path it may lead her down. Back to the Jedi. Rafa says maybe that is who she is meant to be, and Ahsoka agrees, leaving her bike with the sisters just in case, then boards the Mandalorian ship. As the Republic campaign on Anaxes faces setbacks with the loss of their main production facility to the Separatists, Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker debate their next move. Commander Cody and Captain Rex propose a theory behind the Republic's losses, suggesting that the droids are predicting their strategies based on past patterns. Rex suspects that Eco, a presumed dead comrade, may still be alive and influencing the enemy's tactics. Despite their plan to infiltrate the Separatist cyber center, Rex keeps his suspicions about Echo to himself. As they embark on their mission with the Bad Batch clone squad, they face unexpected challenges and eventually discover a shocking revelation. Echo may be alive and working with the enemy, signaling a dramatic turn in their battle against the Separatists on Anaxes. As the Republic campaign on Anaxes faces setbacks and the mission to rescue Echo becomes increasingly desperate, tensions rise among the Jedi and clone troopers. Anakin Skywalker, Rex, and the Bad Batch prepare for their daring assault despite facing skepticism from the Jedi Council. While en route to Skako Minor, Skywalker confronts Rex about his personal motivations, prompting a conversation with Padme Amidala about loyalty and trust. On Skako Minor, the team encounters unexpected challenges, including an attack by primitive politicians and the revelation that Eco may still be alive. As they navigate through Tamber City, tensions flare within the group, leading to a confrontation between Rex and Crosshair. Despite the odds, they press on, determined to rescue their fallen comrade from the clutches of the Separatists. However, they soon find themselves trapped in Tamber's facility, facing off against overwhelming odds and a cunning enemy. As they fight to survive and locate Echo, Rex and Tech make a shocking discovery that may change the course of the war. Amidst the chaos of battle and the overwhelming odds stacked against them, Anakin Skywalker, Rex, and the Bad Batch fight valiantly to rescue Echo from the clutches of Wat Tambor and the Techno Union. With Echo's memories clouded and his life still tethered to the machines that keep him alive, the team must navigate through treacherous terrain and face relentless enemies to secure their escape. As they confront wave after wave of droid adversaries and Tambor's deadly creations, tensions run high within the group. However, through teamwork and determination, they manage to overcome each obstacle in their path. With Echo's guidance and the clones' unwavering resolve, they ultimately find a way to outsmart their enemies and make a daring escape. Their victory comes at a cost as the battle takes its toll on both the clones and the politic allies who have joined their cause. Yet despite the losses suffered, Skywalker and his comrades emerge triumphant, earning the gratitude and respect of the politic chief and securing a powerful ally in their ongoing struggle against the Separatists. As they prepare to depart Skako Minor and return to the Republic, Rex offers his apologies to Echo for not rescuing him sooner, expressing his hope for a brighter future ahead. Though Echo's doubts linger, the bond between the clone troopers remains unbroken as they set course for home, ready to face whatever challenges the war may bring. The daring mission to retake Anaxes from the clutches of the Separatists proves to be a decisive victory for the Republic, thanks to the bravery and ingenuity of Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, Captain Rex, and the Bad Batch. With Echo's strategic brilliance and the clones' unwavering loyalty, they successfully outmaneuver Admiral Trench and thwart his plans to destroy the assembly plant. Despite facing overwhelming odds and enduring treacherous battles both on the ground and in space, the Republic forces emerge triumphant. Echo's sacrifice and the selfless actions of the clones ultimately save countless lives and secure a crucial victory for the Republic. As the Jedi and clone troopers reflect on their hard-won success, they recognize the invaluable contribution of Echo and the Bad Batch. Though they may not seek recognition or medals, their dedication to the cause and their unwavering loyalty to one another embody the true spirit of heroism. In the aftermath of the battle, as Echo chooses to join the Bad Batch on their next adventure, Captain Rex bids farewell to his friend with a heartfelt salute, acknowledging the bond forged through countless battles and shared sacrifices. As Ahsoka and Bo-Katan seek assistance from Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi to apprehend Darth Maul on Mandalore, tensions rise as the threat of General Grievous and the Separatists attacking Coruscant looms large. Despite the urgency of the situation, Anakin extends a warm welcome to Ahsoka, and the 501st Legion stands ready to support her. With Rex's promotion to commander, he and a contingent of the 501st join Ahsoka in her mission to Mandalore, where they confront Maul's loyalists led by Gar Saxon. In a fierce battle, they force Saxon's forces into retreat, but the real challenge lies ahead. As Bo-Katan apprehends Prime Minister Almec, Ahsoka follows a trail into the city's tunnel network, only to fall into Maul's cunning trap. Caught off guard, Ahsoka finds herself facing the dark presence of Maul, who has been waiting for this moment to exact his revenge and further his own sinister agenda. In the climactic confrontation between Ahsoka and Maul, the former Sith apprentice drops a bombshell by mentioning Darth Sidious before managing to escape. Ahsoka wastes no time in relaying this crucial information to Obi-Wan, who connects the dots and realizes that Sidious is the elusive Sith Lord who has been orchestrating the Clone Wars from the shadows. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Almec, captured by Bo-Katan, hints at Maul's plan to lure Anakin to Mandalore. However, before he can reveal more, Almec is assassinated by Gar Saxon, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. As Bo-Katan and Rex lead their forces in a final assault against Maul's Mandalorian loyalists, Ahsoka finds herself face-to-face with Maul once again. In a tense exchange, Maul reveals the depth of Sidious' treachery, claiming that the Sith Lord seeks to destroy both the Republic and the Jedi Order. He implores Ahsoka to join forces with him to stop Sidious, even going so far as to disclose his belief that Sidious intends to make Anakin his new apprentice. Refusing to trust Maul's words, Ahsoka engages him in a fierce duel above the city. Despite Maul's warnings of imminent doom, Ahsoka ultimately chooses to spare his life, opting to have him captured by clone troopers instead. After the siege of Mandalore, Ahsoka and Rex head to Coruscant with Maul as their prisoner. Learning of Grievous' location, the Jedi Council hints at the war's end. En route, Ahsoka senses Anakin's fall to the dark side and witnesses his role in Windu's death by Sidious' hand. As Order 66 is executed, clone troopers, including Rex, turn against her. Rex's resistance grants Ahsoka insight into the inhibitor chips. She frees Maul for a diversion and saves Rex, later removing his chip with the help of astromech droids, restoring his autonomy. After Maul sabotages their cruiser, Ahsoka and Rex confront their treacherous clone comrades. Despite their efforts, Maul escapes in their shuttle. Narrowly evading destruction, they crash land on a nearby moon. There they mourn the fallen clones, and Ahsoka leaves behind one of her lightsabers. 2 years later, Darth Vader, formerly Anakin Skywalker, retrieves Ahsoka's discarded lightsaber from the wreckage. He watches it burn for a moment, and then takes the saber, turns, and walks away, reflected in the visor of a cracked helmet belonging to a clone trooper of Tano's specialized division of the 501st Legion, until his reflection fades from view. The Clone Wars are over. So that will be it from us. If you enjoyed the video, then leave us a like and subscribe to our channel for similar content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one.